Hello, everyone. Okay, awesome. Sound seems to be working again. Ah, thank you, Running Fox. Sound and video are on. Awesome. So, let's have a look. I'm still setting up my Photoshop. See if I have the right brush. Yes. Right color. Also yes. Just need to add another layer. There we go. Oh, and praise Soltar as well. Thank you guys for joining for another stream. Let's have a look if everything is... Yes, I have the chat here. Okay, awesome. Okay, well, welcome. Welcome to another stream. I am going to draw today a space lady. That was an idea I had with Running Fox. So we're just going to try to have draw a sexy space lady, just to see if we can do it. My screen is not moving on my laptop. I'll just refresh, see if it works. Yes, okay. Sorry, we seem to be back. All right. Well, it could be my Wi-Fi. Okay, well. All right, sexy space lady. I had this idea of that, and I'm just going to, again, as always, make a really rough sketch to see what the lady will be doing and how she will look. I really have no idea yet. I'm just going to try some stuff and we'll see if we can make something cool. So here we go. This is just going to be a sketch. The head can be a little smaller. Let's make it a little bit cartoony looking. I once again have been very busy with the Kickstarter stuff. The getting killed by the X-Maniac commissions are going rather nicely. And next on the menu will be the custom commission I have for Praise Soltar, which it's going to be a fun challenge to make. I'm going to make a drawing on a piece of cloth which will be put on his battle jacket. I'm just going to see if it can actually be pulled off, because I have no idea. I hope so, though. I'm actually going to enlarge my canvas a bit because I'll probably need some more room for the arms. I've also begun to set up my office here in order to make all the packages for the Kickstarter. The books have arrived, they look really good, really big, I know I made them in A4, but if you actually have the book in your hands, it's more like a magazine than a comic book, but it is pretty cool. Yes, it's a fun challenge. Problem is, I mustn't screw up because there's no Control Z or Command Z button on the cloth, so I really hope I'll be able to pull it off in one go. At least I know what I'm going to draw. And I'll just need to test out the special markers you gave me in order to make everything look nice. Okay, I was thinking I'm going to let her hold 2 tiny pistols. I think that might be fun. I'll probably bring this arm down a bit. To hopefully make it a little bit more natural looking. But yes, I'm gonna have to. I also tested out because in the comic is a sketch card where I will be making some custom drawings for people. I also tested that out, and the ink pen I'm using is perfect for that. So I'm gonna have to make doodles of about 60 comics. So that's going to be quite a chore, but a really fun one. Change the shape of the head a little bit to make her look in the camera. That might be fun. And I really have no idea what I'm going to do with the spacesuit, but we're going to see. I'm going to try for a like a little 50s retro sci-fi look, or 70s. I'm not really sure from which point that era was. It's not really steampunk. It's really retro with the lots of these circles. I think 1950s, but I'm not sure. I'll occasionally glance at the chat if anyone wants to ask me anything or wants to start a conversation, just say so. All right. Basic shape. Oh yes, Barbarella. I actually seen that movie once, but those guys were really on something really nice. Also probably because I want to give her some antennas, so I'm also going to enlarge the canvas up. They're not going to be huge antennas, but I want to have my space. All right, let's see if we can make a she is going to be humanoid, but I was thinking of adding some extra stuff. really enjoy sketching really quickly, as you can see. And then later on with the actual inking process, I'll slow down a bit and try to find the correct lines. Or just keep it loose a little bit. So yeah, the Kickstarter is still keeping me very busy. The commissions are doing quite nicely. I am setting up a web shop on my website in order to sell the book when everything has been shipped for the Kickstarter. And yeah, my entire office is now filled with boxes and posters and lots of comics. And this is actually the second batch of comics I've received because the first batch was faulty. The order of the pages was totally wrong. To fault of the printer, so luckily they were really quick with giving me replacement comics. I had to send the faulty comics back, which I did today. Would have been a nice collector's item, but fortunately they're back at the printer and they'll probably get destroyed. That's very likely. I can't assume they'll be using it for anything else. Alright, let's see what we can do with her spacesuit. I was thinking of giving her a little bit of cleavage, of course. Adding a big border. Oh, it's great. And you can play some vinyl with it. So what are you listening to now? Anything cool? I'm always on the lookout for new music, as you know. And I know you have a good musical taste. And I really enjoy doing this. This is a really nice challenge. I'm drawing live for people. So now actually you have to stay focused, which normally is no problem for me, but I tend to just drift off a bit or just find myself being busy with stuff totally different. And now I just need to focus on this image and actually finish it, which is great. Let's see, let's give her some cool, very long space gloves. Maybe some rings around here. Great Flashers, yeah, that's an awesome band. I do think their previous band, Beast Milk, I did like that a little bit more, but it is basically the same band, so they are still great. And yes, I did saw them live on Roadburn. They were really good. I will refine the hands after when I'll be inking, of course. I'll actually be inking with the exact same brush because I just use one brush for this. And this is such a nice brush. And I don't know if it's still available. I was actually looking it up for someone and I couldn't find it. So for anyone out there who is interested, it is the Mr. Natural brush from Kyle, who used to be on Gumroad, but I think Adobe actually bought his brushes, so maybe you can just get it from Adobe. But I have really no idea. I am really fond of sketching with really thick lines. Okay, what are we gonna do for the rest? Could maybe give her like, let's see, they should have like a big belt. I mean, if you're going to go to space, apparently you'll need a big belt. And I did look up some references, but I totally forgot them already. So I'm just trying to make something cool. I have no reference, no pictures, anything. I'll try to make it look cool. Chill hop. What is that exactly? Hip hop only more chiller? With some pouches, because when you go to space, you'll need a lot of stuff. And maybe it's fun to, if these have pouches, maybe we can do like a little, maybe she's carrying like a big cylinder with something. I don't know what yet. Maybe some tea, yeah, space tea. We got like the tea label is dangling out of it. So, space tea. And of course she needs some cool holsters for her space guns. Oh, I actually see that my brush is set way bigger than usual, but it actually works. Hey, Gangster Froggo, thank you for joining my stream. I've spoken with Gangster Froggo a couple of times on Instagram, and he also helped me during the Kickstarter by posting stuff about my Kickstarter on his account, so greatly appreciated. And we, after a whole conversation in English, we found out we were both Dutch, so that was fun. I was actually going to look at whatever's popular now, or where I could what I could draw. But I really like this idea of a weird space lady, so I was going with this, and I think it's going to look pretty cool. I'm not really used to drawing science fiction stuff. But it is fun because you can go really weird with all the technology and gadgets. So I could even like try to get some weirder stuff in there, but I do want to retain the shape of her body, not to make it too clunky. Should of course be a sexy space lady, not a clunky space lady. For her midriff, let's see. I was thinking if I remove this for a moment, I'll just she has like a rubber midriff. Maybe she has like a badge on her arm. That might be cool. She can even have one on her boob. Why not? Oh, that looks a bit weird. We'll see. Now let's have a look where all the shadow is going to be, just really roughly. Also going to have a look if I can make some of the objects really shiny. Well, oh, Gangster Fro, I'm doing actually pretty good. It's been a very chaotic day for me. I've been also busy with my Kickstarter. You probably wasn't online for me to tell you that, but all the stuff for the Kickstarter is going very nicely. I got all the stuff. I am drawing all the commissions. It's going to be some work though, but eventually everything will be done and shipped. It's I'm really looking forward to that. Let's give her this big bracelet, which will function as her computer. There are some cooling stuff. Got some buttons here, and the screen is on the other side, so you can't see that. Too bad. And she does have a backpack. Let's make it a little smaller. Which could also function as a jetpack, maybe. We have the exhaust of the jetpack. Can you make ghost face? Well, yeah, I can see if I can make a ghost face. He's not one of my. Yeah, I have seen like the Scream movies like once when they were released, but yeah, they were okay. You did mention the ghost face a couple of times, so we'll see what we can do next time. Or I'll just put him on. Oh, thank you, Gangster. I'll see if I can make a ghost face next time. I actually did like the horror heroes series this week, and that was lots of fun to do. I tried to make them all look like they could be in a Saturday morning cartoon. And they were quite popular, so that's good. She's an alien, so maybe she has some gills on her chest. Why not? big eyebrows, much like the Night Elves of Warcraft. Which I also still need to upload the time lapse of my last stream where I was drawing a troll priest. But I've been so busy this week, I did not have the time. But I will be making that somewhere this week. Right, a really quick and rough sketch of a space lady. Now let's see if we can clean this up a little bit. Let's see, Gangster Frog likes, oh, he likes my cover of the X-Maniac. Well, thank you for that. I went all the way with the 80s VHS, so in the comic, in the actual book, you'll get some fun surprises on certain locations, just to get the whole experience of renting a really crappy horror movie from the 80s in the local video store, which I know how old you are, you probably have not experienced that a lot, but still cool. Okay, I'm layering, decreasing the opacity, so I'm making a new layer. And with the exact same brush, I'm just going to make some neat lines. Let's see if we can make her look nice. For some reason, I always start with the nose. I don't know why, but it works. Even when I'm inking, I tend to use really loose lines. So that is my personal preference. I should definitely draw some more science fiction related stuff, as it is quite challenging. Same thing I have with X-Maniac, where I had to draw, suddenly I had to draw like police stations and cars, things I usually avoid because they're difficult to draw. And as an illustrator, you always need to try to improve yourself, which I try. Actually, it took me a while to do that. I was usually very happy in my comfort zone, but as I'm working now as a freelancer, I get all kinds of weird requests. So nowadays, I tend to just think of weird stuff or really mundane stuff that I usually would not draw and just test it out. The creepypastas, no, sorry, I did not have the time yet to check anything out. It's been crazy busy for me, but after the whole Kickstarter is done, I finally will have some room to breathe, and I have a whole list of stuff I would like to check out. I would actually mind playing some music during my stream, but I don't know how YouTube will react to that if I use music in my videos. Probably get flagged by their drones, but I'm not sure. Oh. I'm getting a slight headache from looking at those 4 eyes, but so has anybody seen the new trailer for the new Nicolas Cage movie called Mandy? That looks mighty interesting. I have no idea what it's about, because it's like this weird acid trip almost, but really check it out if you haven't. I think it's going to be really crazy. Looks mighty interesting anyway. Oh, definitely do. It looks so weird, and it's really difficult to determine what it's about. But well, it's Nicolas Cage, so as long as he does what he did in The Wicker Man, I'll be really happy. Although that movie was really bad, he gave a really fun performance. I'll add more details to the hair later. First, I'm just going to see if I can ink the rest of the for spacesuit. Angled wrong a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, you really, yeah. Nicolas Cage is it's a really weird guy. He has played in some really good movies, did some actual dramatic roles, but some of those movies he overreacts like there's no tomorrow, and I have no idea what he's doing, but it is so interesting to watch him act. Like one of my favorite movies of his is what is it called? 8mm. It's really cool. Can I draw more serial killers? Maybe like Pennywise or Scream. Well, I do really like those characters, so maybe I'll do another series. The ones I already done were like my favorite, but there are many more. You got, of course, like Pennywise, Scream. You got the Candyman. You got Pumpkinhead. the guy from Hatchet. I don't really know what his name is. We've got more Xenobites to do, so I could do more. But I was thinking I could also like try a different genre of characters. Like, I'm not overly fond of drawing superheroes, but they seem to be all the rage anyway. Happy Death Day. I know it's a gore song. Is it also a movie? Could be though. I know a lot of movies, but I don't know all the movies, of course. I know Mother's Day is a horror movie. A really bad one. I could also do like a run on trauma movies. That might be fun. Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki Man, Romeo and Juliet, Terror Firmer. Well, so many bad movies they made. Class of Nukem High. Really like that one. I'm still using the really thick brush, but it really works on this one. Surf Nasties must die, yes, of course. And I'm glad you liked it. It looks so interesting. Even the logo looks like a black metal band or something. I have no idea what they're going for with this, but I think it's going to be mighty interesting. Can't wait to see it. Let's see. Oh, we're almost forgetting her. Gills. Let's make her laugh a little bit more. Oh. I'll first try to focus on drawing the actual character and then adding more details, as I tend to get lost drawing really, really tiny details all over. Major psychedelics, yeah. I'm really looking forward to watching this movie. I've also not seen Hereditary yet. I heard some good things about it. That's a movie I would like to watch in the comfort of my own home. It's not, I don't think it's a movie for the cinemas, but let's see. Let's go ahead with the body. by using separate layers, I'm able to do this. It's a really easy trick if you want to get a continuity in your lines, or else it's really difficult to achieve that. Oh. The keyboard is not functioning properly, so sometimes when I try to press spacebar to get this little hand here, it just does not do anything. But Apple keyboards are pretty expensive, and the rest is still working good most of the time. Now this removes memory. Needs in the comfort line. Ooh, the ring, yes. And was this the original Japanese one or the remake with what's her face? Charlize Theron? Is she in there? I don't know. I completely forgot. Should know this. But I've watched The Ring maybe once, and it was really fun. I did like the idea, but nowadays no one watches tapes anymore, so that. But the movie itself was really nice. Did you also see the actual Japanese one? I saw that, and I was really surprised how all the Japanese people, they're all screaming. Like, I know it's a horror movie, but the effects were really good. It looked different. It was a little bit more low budget, but very effective. I could not stand screaming. Okay, let's draw some pouches. Oh, I would definitely have a look at it. It's really Japanese horror. It's quite something. It's very brutal, and yeah, the way they film it, I'm not really sure, but it just looks really authentic. Of course, you also have movies like well, it's House in Japanese. I think like the translation is just House, but that's also a bizarre movie from the 80s. Like great special effects. Really weird story. I would actually recommend that one, House, or Hausu, I think it's called normally. Used to I didn't own it. I saw it on video way back. Her tea container. Special. I don't know. But it does have the label of the tea dangling out. And some of the tea you can see. So. Yes, I am an old fart. A little bit. Well, I didn't see it in the 80s, obviously, because I was not that old, but I have seen it on actual videotape. So it was always fun to check out. It was actually a real big effort to find old, like, really obscure horror movies. Even like the magazine of Fangoria wasn't really available in Holland, as far as I know. That could really help me, but by the way, aren't you also an old fart? I think you're like a year older than me or something. So. Or am I completely mistaken now? I can't remember. Okay, the holsters are a little bit weird, but why not? Oh, this is why I sometimes zoom out, because now I see that is a line. No? This one needs to be moved up a little bit to make it look better. Because I like to work in zoomed in, but you tend to lose the overall picture. See, now the leg actually connects. And because I'm working in different layers, it's easy to remove parts like this. One of the benefits of working in Photoshop. I have used other programs. I have Sketchbook, I have Mischief, and these work great as well. Oh, and even, what's it called? I think it used to be called Manga Studio, but is now One Studio or something along the lines of that. And all those programs are great to draw in. Like if you want to sketch. Problem is, I don't really like the rest of those programs. So in Photoshop, I can just sketch an image, sketch a drawing, ink it, color it, do anything I want with it, add fonts and text and all the whole shebang. And I got a drawing, or I can make a whole comic book in Photoshop if I want to, which I did with X-Maniac. And although I'm sure you can do the same in the other programs, I've been working in Photoshop for so long, it's really difficult to go to a new program. So I'm sure those other programs, because I know people who actually work in them, create really professional work. I tend to just stay with Photoshop. Stick with what you know. I do, however, always try these programs out, because you never know. Yeah, Bob Ross didn't need no computers. Yes, okay. Let's draw some hands, which are always a big challenge for me. Let's start off with this one. My space bar is... I'm not sure if I can just dismantle the keyboard and maybe clean up. I don't know. Maybe. But knowing Apple products, they usually aren't keen on people doing that, so. I like to hide everything from the public. Right. Let's make a bigger thumb. You tried the app called Paper. No, I did not. Is this for, can I find this on the Mac, or is this specifically for an iPad? I have not heard of this. On Apple Store, okay. Well, I do know the app called Pages, which is just Word for the Apple, but I will definitely look it up. Drawing guns is also something I find really difficult. Definitely something I'll need to try more of. I always wanted to make a like a fantasy meets science fiction kind of type of story. Maybe, well, it's not really original, but orcs in space kind of stuff. I know Warhammer already did this, but just a give it my own twist kind of thing. I think I would like to do that. Maybe have this space lady featured as an maybe an assassin, like she's a highly trained assassin. That might be cool. Let's give her a badge here as well. Well, thanks for the tip, Running Fox. I will definitely check that out. Who knows? New layer. I will lock the sketch layer because it has happened way too many times where I would merge down all the layers. The sketch layer will be right there, and it is no fun erasing all the pencil lines. I've done that way too many times. That looks like a space gun. Maybe add some more lines, like it's built out of tiny panels. A bounty hunter would also really fit. That's very true. Let's have a look. Yes, I'm going to draw this hand and then I'm going to add all kinds of nice detailing everywhere. Corner antennas. I totally forgot about those. Maybe just like the tick. This is where our power comes from. Has anyone seen the new tick series on well, it's originally from Amazon, but you can find it online. And Peter Serafinovich plays the tick, and he does a really fun job. So if there are fans out there who like the tick, definitely check that out. It's a lot of fun to watch that show. Have I checked out the Strontium Dog miniature game? I did not know there was one. I know there was a Judge Dredd miniature game, and I actually bought Judge Dredd just to paint him. But Strontium Dog, wow, that's cool. Is the game fun? Have you, not sure if you actually played it, but have you read about it? I do like the design of Strontium Dog. It's the kind of retro science fiction that I really enjoy. Okay, this might look a little bit weird, but I'm going to keep this gun a little bit in shadow, just to see if that will work. And yeah, let's add some details. Let's start at the bottom for once, and I never really do that. Might be fun. Ah, yes. To buy miniatures or houses, that's, yeah, you gotta prioritize, but I will definitely check it out. Because I already own a house, and not currently looking to buy one. Or maybe I am, by the way. Yeah, cool. There's actually like a Batman miniature game nowadays. I haven't played it, but the miniatures look amazing. Definitely wanted to check that out, but finding people to actually play that with, it's going to be really difficult. Lobo is in the game. Okay. That is very interesting. He's not part of that universe, right? Well, it couldn't be because Strontium Dog is 2000 AD. The Lobo is Marvel, but no, it's DC, of course. I'm so sorry. I know. I should have known better. Oh, sorry, in the Batman game. Well, that makes more sense, but... Well, on the other hand, he's a space guy in the Batman game, but... Ah, well, cool. I've not really checked the game out in a while, so I don't know if other DC heroes or anti-heroes are also in the game. But I assume if you have a Batman miniature game and you're like the Flash, like no one could stop you. Better yet, you're Superman. It's actually been really fun drawing the Get Killed by the X-Maniac commissions. And I'm really looking forward to hear the reactions of people when they'll see it. Because yeah, normally when you draw someone a commission, you'll have them laughing, or maybe they're in a superhero suit. But now they're brutally killed. Like heads are being chopped off and limbs are flying all around. So I am really looking forward to reactions of people. And I pull no punches. It is pretty brutal. Just like in the comic. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, we still had to like play a game of 40k. Could also do like Age of Sigmar, but I have Tomb King's army, which doesn't exist anymore. Thanks, GW. Oh, this is something I also usually do. I use a white brush to get some detail back on stuff I darkened. So. Lots of neat tricks you can do in Photoshop. And usually it's not the space that's the problem with playing these games. It's having the time for it. Because, well, playing a round of Warhammer can take up to 4 hours if you like take your time, and you always have to like look in some rules. Crazy stuff happens, you have to look everything up again. I think Kings of War is a little bit more streamlined, if I'm not mistaken. I've never played it though. I am not like a huge fan of the fantasy setting. and drink beers. That's also a big part of wargaming. We can also drink tea, of course. But drinking a beer goes really well with wargaming. I was saying like a lot today because my throat is a little bit sore. It's this really warm climate we're having here at the moment in Holland, where I tend to get sore throats when the climate changes drastically, which is always fun. Okay, the gun looks a little bit weird, but let's leave it at this for the moment and we'll see if we can fix that later. This was really a test. I was just seeing if I could pull that off, but maybe it looks a little bit weird. The angles doesn't really look like a gun, but no worries, we can fix that later. What I'm going to do on the badge, maybe a number. Let's see, let's make it let's make it 13. She's assassin number 13 or something like that. But it turns out to be a fun little alien. I went in this completely blank. I had a really vague idea on, well, basically that she had a gun and she had 4 eyes. That was something I wanted to do. And the rest is all just improvised, but I think it looks really nice. Ask me again tomorrow and I'll probably have tons of stuff I want to change, but at the moment let's see. I'm putting back a lot of the rough sketches I made, but I really like the look of it. Makes you look tough. Let's see. First I'll try to do the, well, let's see what we can do with the hair. So did anybody else see some cool trailers nowadays? Because I did see another one called, I think it was called Meg. It was about a megalodon, I think. I wasn't really impressed by it, but sometimes monster movies can be really cool if done right. Like all the new Godzilla movies they make, where they are sort of embarrassed to be in a Godzilla movie, and they don't really show up the monster that much, which is just baffling. Give some more details on the nose. Oh, and her backpack. Let's see what we can do with that. Okay, the only thing I don't like is the gun I've drawn here, so I'm going to remove this. I'm going to see if we can make something else. It happens. It was a test after all, so see if we can make a different type of gun. One that maybe extends a bit, like so. And maybe has 2 barrels. That might be fun. Let's see. Right. I'll just add some more barrels. It's a alien mini Gatling gun laser thing. The poor little hard drive is trying to keep cool, as you can probably hear. It's a really good drive, but really, really noisy. I got a better feeling about this. It looks really nice and weird, which looks good on our alien lady. Just thinning out some of the lines because I think they're really thick compared to the other ones in the drawing. Okay, well this is starting to look like some finished inks. Here you see a little bit of a, well, it's not really a skull-ish thing, but it should be like a skull thing. Save it, very important. Well, she seems rather content with herself. Let's see what else can we add to the thing. Maybe a handle on the teacup, of course. And we see some pouches going around her to create more depth. Okay, I'm happy with this. I will add some. I'll add some quick shadows with my special paintbrush, just to get a sense of things. It usually helps when the inks are pretty busy. Just add a little bit of shadow. You usually see what's going on more. This was very fun to draw, I must say. I went in completely blank. That was actually pretty fun. And my first couple of streams I actually made like a really rough sketch on what I wanted to make, but I'm getting a little bit more confident in that I can do that live on stream, so that's a really good thing. And this is of course really rough. It's a rough draft of what you could look like, but I think this is a really good start. I'll probably give her some color, but not in the stream. And I will post her on my Facebook this week. Sorry, Instagram this week. Thank you, Praise Filter. Really appreciate it. And this is something I usually don't draw, so this is very good. I really like to have more of these fun suggestions. So if you have suggestions, like Gangster Frodo. Okay, apparently she's a bounty hunter. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Gangster Frodo already asked if I could draw a Ghostface. And well, I'm up for that. I could definitely try that one. I was also thinking, because I still need to finish a comic, a different comic for a writer. I actually need to finish one more page, and I thought I could also do that live on stream, maybe next week. But I'll have to ask permission if he's okay with me showing off a whole page of his comic book. So if he gives the go, I'll just work on my comic next week. I'll be inking the page, and I can tell you a little bit about how I make comic books. You guys really don't think like she's like an assassin? So more like a bounty hunter. Okay, well, I can work with that. well, you know, maybe she has like a 2-part job. She's a bounty hunter, but to pay the bills, she also gotta be like a professional assassin. Gotta earn that space bucks. So I was thinking of making her skin either blue or green. I think that would look really well. It usually works well in alien, but do something totally different, like purple, or maybe make her red. I might make her look a little bit more like a Sith though, so that might be a little weird. So yeah, maybe next week I'll be drawing a comic. And if not, I can probably do Ghostface. Or if I do get a better idea, I do that. But you know, this one has been like decided like a day before, so as long as it's fun to draw, and if I think it's fun to draw, you know, because I don't want to spoil anyone's evening by drawing something I don't want to draw. But I am really open to suggestions, and then if I see something I really like, I'll definitely draw it. Let's see, let's give her a little bit of a background. I'll just, oh, this is really, I'll probably make her an actual background later on. But for now, this might be fun. I'll just need to mask away all the parts where she's visible. I did not think that through, but we can do this quick and dirty. Where we, no, hide this part. Yeah, there we go. This is a really dirty way, quick and dirty way to mask anything you want. Just use that magic wand. To select what you want to remove, and then put that in the alpha layer. It's something I use a lot, because if you use it, you're not destroying anything. You're not deleting any parts of an actual image. You're just hiding it. Oh, wait. It's always best to work non-destructive. You never know what you might need later. There we go. Sexy space alien bounty hunter / assassin. I like this one. I'm definitely going to color this in, give it actual colors and a cool background, and I will post this on my Instagram. Yeah, so next week, hopefully I'll be drawing a comic for you guys. If not, we'll do something else that's cool. And so yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And check my Instagram if you want to see this live in action. All right, where is that stop button? Where's that? Oh, here it is. Bye.